These 10 tips are guaranteed to win you more games in Zero Build or Fortnite when you don't have movement. So if you don't have shockwaves or you run out of shockwaves, you want to be using these 10 tips in order to play the game. If you're just in general struggling with the game as well, and you do have shockwaves, this can really help you out in order to help you rotate and get to good areas of zone so that you don't get shot in the back and so you can have a better chance of winning games. Subscribe if you want more Fortnite tips and other Fortnite content from myself, and like the video at any point today if it helps you out. Let's jump right into it. Winning in Fortnite without having movement requires you to have good rotations as well as good movement. This just means knowing where to rotate to from point to point, or rotate to zone, aka move to certain points, and also having good game sense in order for what is good movement or how should I best move without movement items, whether that be specific mechanics in the game that can help me move to get to places faster or to get to places in the most efficient manner. This video will show you those 10 tips as well as what not to do with a bad example from myself, and then me combining all those tips together as well as giving you additional pointers here and there while clutching out a dub. Make sure you stay tuned for the entire video, because although you may know tip number 1, you probably don't know tip 6 or tip 7. So staying tuned for that will help you out a lot. My name is Onyi, let's get right into the video. First things first, you want to land dead side of zone. So while playing Fortnite, you have this thing called Deadside. Deadside is furthest away from the bus line as possible, and it's where the back of zone is, which I will be showing you shortly. The reason you want to land around Deadside or furthest away from the bus as possible is because people typically land across the bus line. So there'll be people Mega City, Rumble Ruins, Shattered Slabs, around Kiku Compound. But people don't like gliding long distances because it takes a lot longer. People like getting into gameplay fast, so if you land Deadside, you'll have more time to loot up, get yourself some shields, as well as good guns before pushing any fights. So right now, we're just gonna land over here towards where there's a slurp truck on the map, which is a great tip as well. Not one of our 10 major tips that we're getting into today, but landing on the slurp truck or anywhere where there's slurp trucks on the map can be very, very advantageous. We're just going to pick up a gun before going there because this is really close to a launch pad, so we can make sure that when we land, we have a gun just in case someone else landed there, that we might have a competitive advantage. Not to mention, you land a lot faster if you hit a launch pad. You hit the ground a lot quicker. Your chute doesn't pull as high up in the air. So first things first, let's take this slurp truck. Just as I mentioned before, there's someone in the air above us. So if this person chooses to land where we're at, we should be able to shoot him pretty easily. I don't think bro saw me over here, I'm going to be honest with you. Next big tip is rotate Deadside. So when playing Fortnite, Deadside is the back side of zone once you've landed. So there's two versions of Deadside. There's Deadside of zone away from the bus line, and then as soon as circle forms, you have Deadside of zone. Deadside of zone currently is this big ring area here, from pretty much Slappy Shores around Lonely Labs all the way back to just the top of Shattered Slabs. Now the reason that this area here is Deadside of zone is because this area is going to be hot. If someone lands Kinjutsu Crossing, Naughty Nets, they're going to be pushing towards zone. So if you have to push towards zone as well, you're likely going to run into people headed towards zone at the same time, as well as running into areas where people could already be camped up because they already have good loot. So I'm going to keep looting here, and considering that we are dead side of zone, we don't have to rotate anywhere. For example, if you did land Naughty Nets, taking a geyser or something similar, a rift or a vehicle, and just rotating towards Lonely Labs or something, just driving around the outskirts, you're a lot more likely to survive. It may not be the most fun way to play the game, but it's the most advantageous way to play the game. It's important to remember as well while playing zero builds, what might work for some players or some pros might not work for you. For example, I love the Sharp 2 shotgun, but you might love the drum shotgun. Both are really good items in the game. What you have to do is figure out what works best for you. This is not one of our 10 tips today, just a general thing you want to keep in mind. Considering that we are dead side of zone and no one is going to be rotating into where we are because they would have no reason to, we can take extra time here looting, making sure that we get good items before pushing out. Just as a side note, I thought I'd show all the slurp truck locations currently in Fortnite. There is a lot of them. There's 2 at my spawn over here. There's 1 on the ice bridge over here, 1 at Brutal Bastion. You also have 1 in the compound here, in Creaky Compound, inside one of the little shelters. You have 1 in the mud here. You have 1 on the racetrack. You have 1 in the bamboo area over here. Moving on to the other side of the map, 1 in the water here, next to Kenjutsu Crossing and Steamy Springs under the bridge area. You have 1 at the gas station, aka Onyi's gas station, another one in the bamboo over here, and then the last one's in Slappy Shores. So a lot of slope trucks currently on the map. Now, if you ever want to find these locations, all you have to do is go to the website fortnite.gg. This is not sponsored. This is what I use in order to figure out better drops. And then you can just toggle stuff on here and you can see where there is spawns. So while explaining all of that, zone has come in. So next thing you want to be doing for your next tip of Fortnite is play zone. You're going to be moving towards zone and getting to zone early, so that you're not fighting people on edge of zone. Right now, I'm not on a hot side of zone, although I am inside, that's not the safe zone, where the storm is going to be approaching us. I still want to be pushing in towards zone. There might be people coming towards me, and something that's very, very important is to rotate wide when playing Fortnite. So if I was at Slappy Shores, something that you might directly do is run directly towards zone. You might be running into other people if you do that, so the number one thing to do would be to rotate wide. Rotating wide will be running up this long area of where zone is towards where it tapers off, where it becomes into a point. So for example here, although I was in zone pretty much, I'm still rotating wide because it's less likely for me to run into people if I run directly. Running wide means you have the ocean to your side, or typically the zone to your side. If someone's in the zone, they're going to be taking damage, so it's going to be easier for you to shoot at them if they start shooting at you because they already would have lost some health. And in this circumstance, we're pretty sweet here. So here we're playing zone, making sure we're getting to zone nice and early to make sure that we don't get shot in the back. Next thing you want to be doing is picking up bunkers. As you've noticed, I've got 4 bunkers currently now in Fortnite. Now there's something very important to note about bunkers in Fortnite. You can carry a max of 4, but also the way they place. They can place 2 stories like this, which is really, really optimal. If you're about to throw a bunker and you can see the preview of it going 2 stories up, it's better to throw it like that. You have more cover, you can hide behind the bottom sections as well as at the top, and then all you have to do is shoot down where people are at. Now bunkers also can place as a 1 story, which I'm going to show you because I have 2 spare here. This is still alright. You got to be careful because sometimes someone can be on a hill or here and they can see you just as easily if you're crouched inside of it. And the last way bunkers place, which is really unfortunate, is sometimes they place in the ground, and that means you have no cover at all. So you want to be really, really careful when you play Fortnite, because if your bunker places in the ground, you're a lot easier target and you're not going to have cover right away. So if you have an extra few seconds to look before throwing your bunkers down, you always want to do that just to make sure that you're not going to get sprayed in the back. Brings me into our next tip. You want to be using cards as much as possible in Fortnite. Cards give you first shot protection. If someone shoots at you, the car is firstly going to take damage and the windows have to break before you can get hit. So if someone shoots an explosive repeater rifle, although they don't have to hit you directly, this is not going to hurt you right away because the car has first shot protection. Now this is very, very true, especially when it comes into the heavy sniper in Fortnite, which is currently vaulted, thank goodness. But something you want to be super, super cautious of. There is someone in front of me. Let's just take them out real quick. They seem to have tabbed out. And I think I got pretty lucky there. Next big one you want to take note of is when you're playing Zero Build Fortnite, especially around the jungle areas, or even if you have the perks, which do give you mud, is you want to be sliding around and using mud as much as possible. Now I have made a video on how to use mud in Fortnite, but mud can be used for great rotations. Notice how fast I can get from this side to where this rock is compared to running if I use the mud glitch, which is basically just spamming your crouch button as fast as possible, while also ensuring that you have this setting on under controller settings. Even if you're a keyboard and mouse player, this does work, having your slide hold time at the very, very lowest setting. This means you only have to tap slide very, very briefly for it to work. And you can move very, very fast. It's intentional for you to move fast while using mud in Fortnite. It's unclear whether or not it's intentional by Fortnite for this mechanic to be able to be cancelled and used so quickly. If you don't have a car in Fortnite, the next best thing you want to be using is dinosaurs, then animals. Dinosaurs are a lot more dynamic than boars and also wolves, but wolves and boars are also really, really good. Dinosaurs can also be covered in mud, and it's important to mention mud also stops you getting scanned from people if they have scan NPCs, or if they have like a bloodhound perk, or if they have thermal fish, or anything similar like flare guns, which were recently vaulted. I do have a guide on how to use mud completely on my channel, so if you want to see that, check that out. The reason you want to be using dinosaurs above wolves and stuff is they can sprint and maneuver super, super fast. As you can see, this person's having a hard time hitting me. Meanwhile, I can get height on them really, really easily. And the dinosaur can deal damage and be a good distraction while I'm trying to hit shots. Next big tip is hire NPCs as much as possible. There's a bunch of NPCs that you can currently hire in Fortnite. Some of them heal you and splash you, which can work really well in comp for if you're rotating in zone. You also have ones like Longshot and Insight, which scan people, basically like flare guns. It's really, really good for seeing where people are. You have ones that throw grenades, good distractions, can confuse people a lot, and these ones have more HP. And then you have Munitions Expert, which drops you a lot of ammo if you're ever running out of ammo quite constantly. Right now, we're gonna rotate to Longshot and get an NPC so we can have a competitive advantage to win. Next important thing to mention in Fortnite is when you're rotating, when you're playing zero build mode, it's not like playing build mode of Fortnite. You can't just rotate anywhere. So what you typically want to be doing is rotating point to point. For example, when I'm running out in the open here, I'm not just running out in the open, I'm running from rock to rock, from tree to tree, from cover to cover. So if someone starts shooting at me, I'm gonna have cover right away. Because if I just ran out openly in the open, someone can just easily shoot me in their back, I can get sprayed, especially if people are using the repeater rifle. One of our big tips here in Fortnite is using height. When you have height in Fortnite, not only is it easier to hit shots on people, it's easier to hit headshots on people. You can spray people a lot easier, and when you're above them, their head is showing more than anything else. So it's just a lot easier to spray them in general. Just took that rift there, so we can go get long shot. Our next big tip in Fortnite is don't push every fight. Now this is the last tip of the day. I have shown you guys everything that I wanted to show you, not in extreme detail, but I think a brief enough detail for you to understand. Now what I mean by don't push every fight is basically pick and choose your fights. Now you don't want to run from fights in Fortnite. If you run from fights in Fortnite, you're just going to get destroyed. But if you don't push every fight and you pick and choose your fights, for example, if you see where 2 people are at and you choose not to push that area because you believe that you can get... Oh, I just took a lot of fall damage. Did not want that to happen. Unlike me just then, you're going to be a lot more likely to win games. For example, if I didn't choose to shoot that person down there, I would have been less likely to fall, I could have kept height, and therefore I would have had a better competitive advantage if I got pushed by other people. However, I was not playing specifically smart then. Although I wanted to hire an NPC, I rotated towards middle of zone rather than playing edge of zone, allowed for a lot more third parties, and even if I didn't fight right away and I started shooting someone else could have shockwaved on top of me, I could have got repeater rifled, I could have easily gotten third partied by someone else in the game. So I am going to show you guys a win putting all of these techniques together without using shockwaves in a single match, but it's a little bit hard to do while explaining stuff in the game when you don't really have full focus. So that's what we're going to be doing next, so make sure you stay tuned for this win, because then some of these tips are really going to come through to you, and then on top of that as well, I will be adding other little pointers for what I believe is the best place. So landing Deadside is still one of the best tips I reckon in Fortnite. But if you're a little bit more confident and you know how to play the game and you think you can get kills quite easily, landing somewhere that's a little bit more hot for better loot is sometimes a better advantage. For me, particularly this season, I've been landing Rumble Ruins for the mythic MK rifle. So that's where I'm going to be landing right now. Another great landing spot is next to this tree here, because if you get yourself a gold item in order to open up this vault here, you can get yourself a full inventory of purple and gold items really easily. Not to mention there's a bunch of holo chests around, so all you have to find is a single holo chest, get any gold item that you don't want in order to put into that vault. First things first, just gonna land on the roof up here, landing on a gun, and then we're gonna hire insight real quick. Alright, just while I'm doing some gameplay here, I want to let you guys know I'm doing 1,000 V-Bucks giveaway. All you have to do is check out the description. It's one of those basic giveaways where if you just click this link, make sure you're subscribed, follow me on Instagram, it gives you more entries, and you've got to log in, and that's how I figure out how to contact you. I'm going to be doing 1,000 V-Bucks giveaways every single month via my videos, so make sure you check out my videos to find out how to enter those. And yeah, just thanks for the support always constantly, I really appreciate it. This giveaway will be drawn on the 14th, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Nice. Not the most graceful start to a game, but we're getting there. And unfortunately, Inside died, but she did scan, allowing me to see where that person was through the wall. There was too many raptors there. It's quite rare to have 2 raptors there at the bottom section. Now I'm just going to loot up here. Hoping for some shield or something. And I'm out of ammo here. And I was able to get the pickaxe kill there because I didn't have any ammo. So let's quickly pop this med kit, grab this flapjack rifle in a second. And unfortunately that person wasted 2 bunkers. Now I'm carrying 2 shockwaves here. Now these shockwaves I'm not going to be using, just going to be dropping them. I just didn't want anyone else to pick them up right away. You know what? As much as I love the combat SMG, I'm going to use this to open up the vault before pushing the boss, just so I can give myself some more health and a better chance at winning. I'm going to put a bush there too, so it's harder for people to push towards me or see into the vault. And just got another one from that chest, so definitely worth it. So right now I'm in center of zone, so best spot I want to be getting is towards Breakwater Bay. So that's where we're going to be rotating to shortly, right after I loot. Alright, got ourselves some decent loot here. Going to be trying to take out the boss here in a second too. I did hear people shooting, so we're going to be using one of our tips here. Although it would be nice to have shockwaves, we're going to jump onto height. Hopefully get a better vantage point of where people are. Just look directly down at them rather than getting like shot in the back or something. A lot of shockwaves around here. I find it pretty easy to find shockwaves at the moment, but some games every now and then I've just come across 0, which does suck a lot. Alright, I'm going to bring the boss up to the top side with me here. So if you shoot at the boss will teleport towards where you're at. So if you want to fight the boss on height, because there's no one on height with you, and it's just easier to run away, that's always good. The boss is a lot easier to take out as well with SMGs. Like SMGs just destroy the bot's health really easily. So we don't have any bunkers right now. So I am going to take minis instead of carrying the combat SMG. And that's just because the MK works really well as an item by itself. For right now, there is someone below. I'm going to take out that person real quick. I am going to get that ammo because I don't have much ammo. And then let's go towards Deadside of Zone. Now, Deadside of Zone is now at Shattered Slabs and Frenzy Field. It was at Breakwater Bay before. But I think it is worthwhile for me to go get an NPC here, just to show you how OP they can be for scanning. So we're going to get ourselves covered in mud, have a little bit of better movement in the game, as well as making it harder for people to see us if they have thermal sights or something similar. Or if we land on someone up here and they've already hired the NPC long shot, it's going to be a lot easier for us also. So also in Fortnite, you have these temples here, and these temples that I just opened in order to check if there was better loot also have rifts. Now you can always use these rifts even if the temples are already open. The wrong door will always rift you, and they're really good for movement. So learning where a couple of them are around the jungle area can be really good for getting to zone, especially if you're far or if someone's just putting pressure on you. Sometimes it can give you a better competitive advantage. My favorite NPCs are Longshot and Insight. They do the same thing. They both scan, they both have snipers and can shoot people really nicely. They hit good shots. Have sometimes stolen a few kills from me before. But your favorite NPC might be a healing one or one that just distracts people with nades. So figuring out what NPC you like the best could also be good to know. Like, just because I prefer scanning in the game, that's because I like fighting more and I like pushing people more. But you might like an NPC that heals you more so you can carry other items. So I am going to grab a vehicle here so that we can play zone a little bit better. You're just going to see if Longshot comes in my car. I think Longshot is glitched right now, so we're going to make sure Longshot teleports towards me. Now there is someone over here, and here's another tip for using cars in Fortnite. Cars can be used for cover in Fortnite. So right now I'm going to get out of my car and I'm going to hide and use the car as cover. The person threw a fly at me, but we're sweet. If you're ever going to fight someone and they're like, say for example, if they're on your left and you have a car, it's better to hit the handbrake, swing the car around, and then jump out on the side so you have cover right away. If you just jump out in the open, it's not going to be very good. All right, hitting some nice shots here. And right now, I'm not going to push this fight. There's more shots up there, so if I push up, very likely for me to get third party. I'm going to rotate here more towards where Deadside of Zone is, back of Shattered Slabs. Going to try and get this combat cache on the way. So combat caches always drop you slurp juices. Slurp juices are really good in the game. And here happens to be another person healing out in the open. And when I'm shooting there, I'm crouching, moving side to side. So if someone sneaks up on me, they won't hit every shot right away, and then I can quickly jump back in my car or move somewhere else. Oh man, another person. All right, nice. Car still got a lot of health, which is really good too. Just gonna grab some ammo real quick. And actually, I don't have any bunkers, so it might be worthwhile for me looting just for a second. Because having bunkers is going to be a really big advantage. Like, bushes are really good at the moment too, especially considering flare guns aren't in the game, but typically better I find to use bunkers. So you just saw then my NPC scanned and just made sure no one was in the area. If someone's in the area, it makes a little ding sound. And that's why hiring NPCs can give you a big advantage. Not to mention NPCs like 500 health. If someone gets distracted and starts shooting your NPC, you can take them out way before they take out your NPC. Although I'm taking this combat cache here, I'm not going to stick around the area directly because there's a better area that I can get in order to have a vantage point and make sure I don't get shot in the back, and that is on height. If I stay on the bottom section there, someone can just get high on either one of these mountains and easily shoot me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the vehicle here. I'm going to use the vehicle as cover on the backside. Do note, people can shoot you under the vehicle. So you want to always be standing behind a tie area. I'm just going to look down and wait for these 2 slope juices to come out. I'm going to select my perks in the meantime. Perks are really good in Fortnite. Give you massive competitive advantage depending on what perks you get. So I'm going to reroll a couple times, see if there's any good ones for me that I can use. And Splash Party is pretty good, and I don't have many heals, so we're going to take Splash Party. It's going to take some that are relevant to me here. Shotgun Reload. Mud Warrior. Not covered in mud right now, but probably will be in the jungle later. And last reroll of the day, Shrub Mud. So both of those really work well with bushes. Not to mention, with cars, you can just jump off the top of mountains really easily, and you won't take like any damage at all. So cars are really good for like just rotating from certain areas. Want to get down from height? Just jump in a car, drive up the top of the cliff. I'm rotating as well wide of zone again, more towards the edge, so we run into less people. We already have a fair few amount of kills, and pushing more people at this point is only going to boost my KD. It's not really going to give me any advantage on winning. Remember, Battle Royale genre is last person standing. It's not whoever gets the most kills. This also rotation has given me a chance to look at what are in the hollow chests nearby, see if there's a better shotgun that I prefer to use right now. There was a drum gun in there. Drum guns are alright, but I'm actually looking for a sharp tooth shotgun because that's my preference. There is an NPC that drops ammo here, so right now rotating wide side of zone again. With some shots up there. You want to get more towards Deadside here, which is the back of zone, so we don't have a lot of people around. I'm going to check out these hollow chests also. So some shockwaves there. Would love to pick them up, but the whole point of this video is to show you how to play if you don't have shockwaves and don't have movement. Was a fair few bits of loot here, so that's quite contextual that there might be someone around. Gonna beat my horn just to maybe bait them to come out of hiding. And another P90 here. I'm looking for the exotic shotgun or the sharp tooth. Fortunately found neither. And while we push back here, we might look for some fuel or maybe another car, considering my car's running out. All right, last stop of the day is going to be this house. Now, it is likely that there is going to be people here. I'm not right in zone, and this is an area where a vault can spawn. So someone could have been here just chilling for a large amount of time. There you go, there's a sharp tooth, that's what I prefer. There we go, sweet. And there is another NPC that you can hire here, and that's Brutus. So NPCs can spawn in on Rift events too, it's not just the map that I showed you earlier. I'm going to pick this hollow chest real quick as well. Although zone might touch me, I think it'll be worth it if it's got the exotics in it. And that does not have the exotics in it. Oh, ran out of fuel. Okay, just having a look to see if there's any fuel around. Doesn't appear to be any. And zones here. So right now we want to rotate towards where Shattered Slabs is over here. Probably get around this tree line or a house. Probably around in Shattered Slabs will be best. But also if we rotate to this house, we can camp up the top side. Considering I have a few seconds, I'm just gonna have a quick look, see if there's any bunkers around. If I can find where the stairs are in this house, hello? If I can find some bunkers, they'll be a lot better than just having bushes right now, although I do have bush perks. And we are on far side of zone 2, so we have to run the longest in. Oh, there is bunkers there, thank goodness. So over here and where I am now, that's the furthest side of zone. That's far side of zone, more likely to run into other people. And then on top of that as well, zone will push you faster than anywhere else. So you kind of have to run a straight line if you don't have a car at that point. So I'm likely to run into people over here. So I got to play this really smart when I get in. I'm probably going to play inside the house just to make sure there's no one on the roof. And then I'll move to roof shortly. And there's people also that could be right here on top of the island. That could be bad for me too. I actually don't hear anything yet, so I don't actually mind playing top side here. And my NPC just scanned. So there we go, boom. Can play top side here of the roof. Okay, we've got to go far again here. Zone is currently a 2 tick. So what I am going to do is I'm going to tell my NPC to move here. Do note you can hold down your ping menu in order to tell the NPC to do things. So if you don't want the NPC to follow you or you want the NPC to go somewhere, maybe to get someone out of hiding, that's where you can go do that. I'm just going to grab a vehicle here. I knew there was more heals, so not wasting any more of my heals. And this is just going to give me first shot protection while I rotate towards zone. So best spot for me to go right now, got to tell Longshot to follow me again, is going to be around this side of zone because there's going to be no one there. So I'm going to rotate up towards this hill here and then rotate wide in. There are 7 people remaining. So you notice I'm not driving directly towards zone. People won't shoot at me as easily. If you are driving the Nitro Drifters, there's ways that you can drift around the land without flipping your vehicle as easily. If you haven't checked out my video on how to use a Nitro Drifter, check that out. It shows you how to like drift faster, get to top speed faster, a lot of things. Right up here is near a hill as well, which is going to be really good. A couple of people under me, they didn't get scanned. They might be covered in mud. And we've got to rotate towards zone again shortly. one. I'm sure there's more shots down below somewhere. Just taking care to make sure people don't push up the bottom side here while looking down. And considering we've got a car and we have a launch pad, we can take a bit longer before rotating here. Tip I do recommend is marking where you want to be going or where backside of zone is. So then when you drive, you can just kind of drive like a direct path. You don't have to be too concerned. So I don't believe there's anyone under me. It's top 4 right now. And we are going to launch the car off the cliff. Now cars can take a bit of fall damage and you can lose about 10 health when launching off cliffs. But if you land like on your wheels, for the most part, you normally don't take any damage. It's only like very rarely that happens. And if your car's low health and you launch off a cliff, it can blow up. So do be careful of that. Now rotating wide once again, not directly towards zone. And make sure I stay on this top section here. I know where we are on the map. So be careful. And up there is where height is. So we're going to be going directly towards that height. We know where next zone is. We do have 36 seconds before zone does move. So I'm going to bounce on height here, because there might be some free shots, or I might be able to look down where people are at. So I can see one person there. Did a little bit of damage. They're going to have to heal then. I healed more than their overshield. Long shot for some reason ran into zone. So I did lose my NPC there. So it's me against the world right now. So once again, marking where back of zone is. And rotating towards where back of zone is. Now, zone looks like it's up on height here. I'm just going to play this really slow. There is someone above me. Make sure you're using visual audio. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to go in zone here for a few seconds just to get into zone. Couldn't bring the vehicle up to where I was at. Now, person's playing height, so they're a good player. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just look out here, because if I look up, there's no point. I have to rotate towards zone this way. This is probably going to be a very 50-50 fight, because it's so close range. Now, I don't recommend taking fights super close range, but sometimes you got to. And if they have a drum gun in this circumstance, especially the mythic drum gun, they'll probably win the fight. So I'm going to go to edge here. Going to drink a slurp as well, so I can tank zone a little bit. Just like that. That's how you win Fortnite when you don't have movement. Just put all of those 10 tips together. Play smart, play safe, pick and choose your fights, don't run from fights. And before you know it, you're getting more dubs than you can count. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like rating if it's helped you out. Subscribe for more Fortnite tips and other Fortnite content, as well as live streams from myself where you can ask me any questions while I'm live, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Remember, take care of yourselves. Bye.